everyone, so in today's video I'm going to do just a really quick comparison video between the Marc Jacobs Do You Dewdrops and the new Super Radiant Booster from NARS. During this hour, the golden hour, I was inspired to do this video because the colors are not only gorgeous obviously, but these highlights really reflect this time of day. They're really, really beautiful, and I wanted to make this video hopefully help you if you are looking for a new liquid highlight to see what one might make the most sense for you, for your skin tone, for your skin type. So if this video is helpful, please make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe because I would love to have you back. So this new highlight from NARS, the Super Radiant Booster, is very fluid. I feel like it's almost a very pigmented glotion if you've tried other like glow lotions like the MAC Face and Body. This one is a little bit more thin, but it gives a really beautiful glossy look to the skin. You can mix it in with foundation, you can just wear it with primer or on its own. I really love this for the color like I was saying before. It is a really beautiful peachy rose gold. I'm wearing it on this side of my face today, and I like it because it really blends in with the rest of my face and it doesn't read as a highlight right away. Obviously it looks very glossy and you can, it draws attention to the quality of your skin and it looks really plump, I guess, but it isn't so stark as a liquid highlight. I want to zoom you in a little bit closer so you can see how it is sitting on my skin right now. As you can see, it's very beautiful and it just looks like almost like good skincare from far away. If you look a little bit closer, you can start to see some of the color. But what I really like about this shade is it really blended in with the rest of my foundation super well. You could wear this on its own and it would blend into the skin super well and look really, really beautiful. I love this product for its subtlety, and it's really nice because I feel like it's somewhere in between a really blingy highlight, like liquid highlight, and between more like a gloss with a little bit less pigment. It's a really nice in between, and the texture to me is just really easy to blend out onto the skin. Overall, I really love this. I hope they come out with other shades of this as well because I feel like this shade wouldn't work for everyone. But for me personally, I really adore it. And when I had been trying this one out, it immediately reminded me of the Marc Jacobs Do You Dewdrops. This one is similar in color, and you'll see that from the swatches that I insert. I do feel like the Marc Jacobs Do You is just slightly more peachy and a little bit brighter. I feel like there is a bit more rosiness and depth to the NARS. Depth as in the shade is literally deeper. I do have an entire video about this product. I'll leave that video linked down below, but this is really one of my favorite liquid highlights. I like it because it gives impact. It gives a lot of impact for a liquid highlight without it drawing any attention to texture on the skin. It's a very refined highlight for as much impact as it gives on the skin. It's also a gel formula, so it has more longevity than something like this NARS. This will eventually just blend into the skin and become one with the foundation. This will remain to look a little bit more impactful on the skin. So I think it depends on what you're going for. If you have oily skin, you'd probably prefer the Marc Jacobs. But if you want something more subtle, maybe you have drier skin, you might prefer this. Now, for reference, I have dry skin and I like both of these just fine. I do want to zoom you in closer so you can see how the Marc Jacobs looks on my skin currently. As you can see, it gives a little bit more impact on the skin than the NARS. It's really beautiful and reflective, but over here, I don't know if you can tell, this is even more refined, a little bit more subtle, whereas this has a little bit more impact to it. Getting into the demo of me applying it both to my bare skin, I have to say that the NARS definitely blends into the skin a lot easier, and it really is just because of the texture of it. It is a lot thinner, and it almost does remind me of a Super Radiant primer like I was saying before, because it's thin enough to act as a base for makeup, but it has enough emollients to it to really blend into whatever makeup you have on top of it. Whereas the Marc Jacobs, I could not wear that as a primer on its own. It looks great mixed in with foundation and primer, but I wouldn't use that product alone because as you can see it going on the skin, it has, again, more of a gel texture to it. And it's also even more reflective than the NARS. So yeah, if I could recommend either or, I would say that the NARS I'm using more right now, just being honest. I feel like in the winter it makes my skin quality look better. My skin looks a little bit plumper and I just like the way it looks on the skin. I like how thin it is as well because this one is a little bit thicker. It has more of a gel texture, which again, with more pigment, just with the formula itself, you kind of need that. But I like how thin it feels on the skin, really blends in with other products super well. Whereas if I want a little bit more impact, I would go with the Marc Jacobs. And that one is a little bit more versatile because it has more pigment. You could put that one into a foundation, a primer, and sheer it out to get the desired effect that you'd like. So I hope that this video was helpful. If it was, please make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe because I would love to have you in my next one, and I will just see you then.